WWE Plans Hated, Triple H blocking Paul Heyman back in the noughties, remembering Bray Wyatt, and more. I'm Ollie Davis, and this is the WrestleTalk News!
Support WrestleTalk!
Go on, let's do some dynamite! Yeah, dynamite for you! Come on! Yeah! Come on, I got this! Hey, boys in here! Hey! Yeah! 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 Right, let's go! Dynamite! Yeah! Hey! Oh, hey, man! Hey! What do you want me to do with that?
Doesn't that look great on Luke? The Pipe Bomb Greater Than Math t-shirt, which you can order right now from the link down below. You've all had your fun. Again, sending in Luke pictures of you wearing your Math Greater Than Pipe Bomb merch. So let's be grown-ups again. I proved Pipe Bomb is the objectively better promo. Join us on our King and Queen of the Ring live reactions tomorrow, right here on WrestleTalk, to watch Luke wear this t-shirt more. Subscribe. Speaking of making people do stuff on screen they don't creatively agree with, here's a picture of Cody Rhodes giving up his WrestleMania main event to The Rock. Thankfully, WWE acknowledged the negative crowd reaction to that, pivoted to Cody finishing his story, and turned Rock heel in one of the best WrestleMania builds of all time. And now, Brian Gewirtz, The Rock's personal creative writer behind the scenes in WWE, has revealed more about what actually went on backstage. Gewirtz has already spoken about how he feels Cody's genuine sad face reaction ultimately meant that The Rock had to turn heel, which wasn't the original plan. You can watch me cover that story in the news episode linked below. And now, speaking on Busted Open Radio, Gewirtz has revealed how the whole bad idea originally came together. It all started back at the Day 1 episode of Raw on the 1st of January this year, where Bryan, Rock, Triple H, and Nick Khan rented a hotel room in San Diego. Boys trip! They were both planning Rock's Jinder Mahal promo segment and starting to discuss the increasingly probable Rock versus Roman Reigns match for WrestleMania. Which was when Triple H pointed out he was kind of building another story. Triple H was very, as you would imagine, aware and astute of the current Cody storyline and brought that up. And we talked about that for a while. So Gewirtz claims the gang decided to do a little test polling of the audience, and not just the audience in San Diego, but the audience all over the world. But that test poll wasn't via SurveyMonkey or YouTube community post. It was with The Rock interrupting Jinder Mahal. During that Day 1 segment, The Rock asked the crowd for advice about what he should do that night for dinner. Should he sit at the bar? Should he sit at a booth? Or should he sit at the head of the table? After years of backstage reports and delayed plans, this was the first direct tease on WWE programming that we were getting The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Of course, the fan base went crazy. It was a great segment, and The Rock was an awesome surprise for that night. Me, personally, I would see that reaction and go, great! That's a huge match we can get to after Cody had finished his story. But Paul, Nick, Dwayne, and Bryan decided it was overwhelmingly positive when he teased head of the table, and at that point, we were like, okay, that gives us our answer. We're locked in. So, according to someone who was in the room where it happens, The Rock versus Roman Reigns instead of Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns was decided by the top executives in the company, including Paul Levesque, on January 1st, 4 weeks before Cody won the Royal Rumble, which set up Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns. A Rumble win which Gewirtz admits was problematic. No shit! Cody Cody himself actually corroborated this earlier this week when he was talking about how he found out that The Rock vs. Roman Reigns was happening at WrestleMania on the day of the Rumble, which he called one of the most difficult days he's ever had in the wrestling business. Apparently Gewurz had pushed for CM Punk to win the Rumble and challenge Seth Rollins because Cody winning would change the dynamic completely. But the four ultimately decided on a plan which, in Gewurz's own words, I will say, and I could say this with 100% certainty, that the original plan is something that many, many more people would have hated more than anything in life itself. I can't overstate that or understate that. I can't state that any more clearer. Presumably, that original plan was Cody giving Rock his WrestleMania main event for Rock to face Roman, where, according to other reports, Rock was pushing to beat Reigns and become the WWE champion. What do you think would have happened if that original hated plan would have played out? Is WWE taken to even higher heights with Rock as champion? Or is there a major fan backlash against creative and we all love AEW instead? Let me know in the comments down below because I'll be replying to people from out of it doesn't matter what you think. But Cody winning the Rumble might not be the only time Triple H could have overruled a member of the creative team. On this week's Raw, Bron Breakker speared Kale Dixon so hard, the referee just stopped the match. No pin, no submission, just the referee deciding Bron had broken his opponent in half. By God! Get well soon, JR. When reviewing this segment, Wrestling Observer Radio speculated that Paul Heyman's fingerprints were all over this booking, specifically referencing Brock Lesnar's first few weeks following his main roster debut in 2002. Back then, Lesnar beat Jeff Hardy by ref stoppage in his debut match at Backlash. He beat Matt Hardy by ref stoppage the following night on Raw, and then beat Shawn Stasiak by, you guessed it, ref stoppage the next Monday night. The apparent plan was to have Lesnar stand out by beating people by TKO. After that third match, Lesnar started beating his opponents in more traditional pinning ways. This was over 20 years ago, half a decade before the UFC had made ref stoppage victories a more mainstream idea. But Heyman was always looking at other sports for ideas and loved the immediate impact of the TKO finish. The audience never really got on board with the ref stoppages, so one man made the decision to stop them entirely. Triple H. The same Triple H who wouldn't officially have a backstage creative position in WWE for another 8 years. Levesque has changed in many ways since, or at least he's convinced everyone he has, so it's interesting to see him embrace yet another idea in 2024 he was once actively against. But some ideas were always good and should never be altered. At the WWE Experience event in Riyadh, Levesque has announced the King and Queen of the Ring tournament winners will receive world title matches at August's SummerSlam, which is so much better than just getting a crown, and gives the post-Mania WWE calendar some long-needed stakes and structure. We have the Rumble, which builds to Mania. Now we can also have the King and Queen of the Ring tournament, which builds to SummerSlam. For me, though, that means the odds of Ring King Gunther winning drastic go down, as Cody versus Randy Orton is the much bigger match for SummerSlam. And in a couple of years' time, WWE will need to put on even bigger main events, as SummerSlam is set to evolve into its WrestleMania-sized final form. WWE have announced that SummerSlam 2026 will, for the first time ever, be 2 nights long on Saturday the 1st and Sunday the 2nd of August, and will take place at the US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. This is pretty interesting, as Minneapolis was the long-reported location for WrestleMania 41, but that was swerved to Las Vegas last month. It's said that WWE want to move away from hosting March or April Manias in potentially chilly locations, so having a large August event in Minneapolis makes far more temperature sense. WWE celebrated this huge live events coup by cutting a load of their live events team. PW Insider is reporting there have been yet more staff layoffs, including some of long-standing employees on the 23rd of May. Fightful added that 2 of the names let go were Senior VP of Entertainment Relations Christian Prouty, who has been with the company since the year 2000 and was one of the main people involved in getting Logan Paul to sign with the company, and Talent Operations and Appearances Manager Tavia Hartley, who joined in 2021. PW Insider notes that while they can't confirm any connection, this happened on the same day that WWE and UFC announced they were merging their live events divisions, as the consolidation of doubled-up departments continues news following the formation of TKO last September. May 23rd was also what should have been Bray Wyatt's 37th birthday, the first since his passing last August. In his honour, many shared birthday wishes on social media. Alexa Bliss, Bray's former on-screen faction mate, posted, "We miss you, Wyndham. Happy birthday," white heart emoji. Braun Strowman tweeted, "Happy birthday, Hoot. I miss you." And former WWE ring announcer and Bray's partner Jojo Offerman shared, "Happy heavenly birthday, my love. I miss you every day. We miss you every day. Nothing is the same without you here. I want to say more, but I just feel broken and defeated. I love you forever, Wyndham. I wish I could still hold you and give you 100 kisses." Red heart emoji. Keeping Bray's legacy alive in WWE, a new Twitch video was also released on his birthday with the latest clues to the Wyatt Six faction. In it, someone, presumably Bo Dallas's Uncle Howdy, is seen writing while latitude and longitude coordinates flash up on screen. The writing mostly seems to reference people who have been left or betrayed by their friends or family, which seemingly corroborates the reported names set to join the faction: Nikki Cross, Dexter Loomis, Joe Gacy, and Rowan. Also, if you take the first letters of all the towns you find at those coordinates, it spells the name Ranierius, a 12th century Italian preacher known for expelling demons. His feast day is the 17th of June, which is also when the post-Clash at the Castle Raw will take place at Corpus Christi, which could potentially be the faction's debut. Now go watch mine and Luke's King and Queen of the Ring predictions in 3 words or less / fewer.
Laurie, I need to talk to you about something.
I don't want to be involved.
Sorry, you don't have to be involved. You just need to listen.
Yeah, fine.
So, Ollie's been making me wear this t-shirt. I've actually worn it on 2 videos now. Can you believe that?
Oh, it's really bad.
Right, 2 videos, but...
No, this is really bad.
Oh, okay. Sorry. But don't worry. I've got a plan.
Alright. What is it?
On tomorrow's live stream, for the King and Queen of the Ring live reactions, I'm going to switch his t-shirt.
Do you not think he's going to notice that?
He's too self-absorbed. You'll never notice.
Yeah, it must be terrible.
It's going to be really funny.